Hello everyone and welcome back to Fit Reset. Today is day 26 and I'm here with my friend Carmela and she is going to lead us through an awesome, much needed after the rough couple of days we just had, Yin Yoga. So I'm just going to pass the mic right over to her. She's going to give us a little brief discussion about what Yin Yoga is and then lead us through some deliciousness.
Hello everybody. Kelsey introduced me as Carmela. Some of you know who I am. We've done some Monday night chill yoga classes together. I'm looking forward to bringing you through a nice class. Well deserved after 25 days of all of the workouts that you've been doing with Kelsey. Today we're doing a Yin Yoga focused class and a little bit about Yin so that you can understand it. It's a quiet, contemplative, move slow. You're going to be working on your mind, your body. It really stretches and works out your connective tissues, especially your fascia. We're going to strengthen them. You can become more flexible. But you're going to have some mental challenges here because you're going to be holding some poses. And if you have any emotions that build up, hold on to them. Don't try to ignore them. Address them, feel them, and breathe. Remember, through yoga, breath is extremely important. So you want to make sure you focus on your breath as you're holding your poses. You'll be able to find the pose, whether fully or with some props, and maybe even go deeper as you move into the pose for 2, even 3 minutes at some point. So you are at home, you're not in the studio with all of our lovely props. But I do want to quickly go over some of the things I have here. I have a blanket, a bolster, blocks, and I have a strap. If you read the blog, you will see that you can utilize alternatives at home. Blankets, obviously, pillows, any types of pillows. You can stack up your bedroom pillows. You can take the cushion off your couch, whatever you need. Belts. Some people do still have books. Not everybody, but maybe you have some larger books or you can stack some books. So I'll be going into some of the full poses, talking about some of the modifications. Beautiful Kelsey over here is going to do some of the modifications as well, and we are here for you. So the one thing I do want to recognize today is it's day 26, and you so deserve this class. You deserve every class. You deserve to be celebrating being on your mat. And I think it's important as we move through today's class that you find a mantra. Maybe that mantra is, I am deserving, because you do deserve this. Maybe it's, I am beautiful, or I am strong. Mine today is going to be, I am deserving. And if you'd like to share that with me, please do so. So as you're breathing, maybe say to yourself, I am deserving. And remember, you are. So we are actually going to start off with a special breathing that we can do in the studio without a mask. It's a wonderful thing. It's called alternate nose breathing, alternate nostril actually, and the Sanskrit term is nadi shodhana. And nadi means channel, and shodhana means purification. And you're actually taking your breath down your middle and you're balancing your sides. And very often, if you've taken class with me, I talk about the feminine and the masculine side. And very often, in our days, they're a little off. So this breath is going to bring us back to the center. It's going to balance us. So I hope you enjoy it. You're going to take your 5 fingers. You're going to take your 2, your middle and your pointer, and bring that up to the center between your eyebrows. It's what we call our third eye, our third eye chakra. And then you could take your thumb and close off your right nostril, and you're going to use your ring finger to close off your left nostril. Let your pinky just lay there and relax, okay? So find that position for yourself and get comfortable. And don't worry, you're not going to be breathing through your mouth and you're not closing off both nostrils at one time. But just to get a feel for your breath, what I'd like you to do is bring yourself into position, close your right nostril for me. Inhale through your left and exhale through your left. Let's just do that 3 times before we alternate. 1 more. Another one. Inhale. And exhale. Good. Now take that ring finger, close off that left nostril, open the right. Let's do 3 on this side. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale. One more. Inhale. And exhale. Now let's just take our hands down for one moment. I do want to go over a couple precautions with you. You can keep your eyes closed, stay in your meditation. And I want you to know if you have a fever, if you're sick, if you have the flu, I'd like you to just do conscious breathing, which is inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your nose. Alternate nostril breathing is not good to do if you have a sinus infection or any type of cold or migraine. All right, so keeping your eyes closed, bringing your 2 fingers to third eye chakra. We're going to close that right nostril, keeping the left open. We're inhaling through the left. Inhale. And exhale. Closing the left, opening the right. Inhale. And exhale. One more inhale through the right. Close it off and exhale on the left. Inhale. Exhale right. Exhale left. Closing. Exhale. And exhale left. Becoming one with your rhythm. Relaxing your shoulders. Lengthening your spine. Your right. Inhale up. Slowly fluttering up, coming back to the root. We're going to do a nice slow warm up, warming up our bodies from our heads down to our lower body. A lot of our yin poses today are going to be a lot of our lower body. If at any time you need to take a break, you can always pause the video and come back, especially if you need to find your prop. Okay. Come back. All right. So with your palms down on your knees, sitting in a nice comfortable position, whatever works for you. Finding your inhale, we're going to take our head and we're going to drop our right ear to our right shoulder. And exhale. Inhaling back up to center. And exhaling as we drop our left ear to our left shoulder. Feeling that beautiful stretch along our neck. Relaxing our shoulders. Inhaling, lengthening our spine. Inhaling back up to center. and dropping to our right. Inhale, center, and exhale, dropping to the left. Good, back to center. And now we're going to look to our right shoulder. So we're going to inhale and exhale as we turn our head to our right shoulder, looking just beyond. Don't take the stretch beyond the shoulder. Remember, relaxing those shoulders. Inhale back to center, and exhale as we move towards our left shoulder. Good. Inhaling back to center. And just one more on each side. Inhaling to the right. Feeling that stretch. Staying with your breath. Inhale, center. And exhale to our left. Good. Very often during my warm-ups, I tend to close my eyes because I find myself still meditating. And if that works for you, please do so. We're going to take our hands to our side. We're going to inhale our hands all the way above our head, feeling a beautiful stretch, interlocking our fingers, palms towards the sky, gaze up towards the sky as we inhale and lengthen that spine. Staying here for a breath. Inhale and exhale. Now inhale again, and we're going to curve as we drop towards the right. Inhaling and exhaling. Make sure you don't crunch forward. You want to be nice and long, keeping that spine long, and just dropping little C curves, keeping our sits bones on the ground. Good. Inhaling back up to center as we drop to the left on our exhale. Good. Feeling that stretch along our body. Feeling strong today because you are deserving. Inhaling up. One more drop to the right. Beautiful. Inhale back up to center. And exhale as we drop to the left. Excellent. Inhale up. And exhale as we drop our arms to the sides of our mats. Palms down. We're grounding. We're grounding our right hand on that mat. Slowly as we inhale, lowering the elbow towards the mat, raising the left hand in line with our ear. Our shoulders are stacked. Inhaling and feeling that beautiful stretch. And exhale. Maybe go a little bit deeper. Inhale. And exhale. Great. Inhaling back up to center. So I would love for you to come to a seated position. The flats of our feet are coming together. And our first yin pose that we're finding today is, some of us know as bound ankle, but it's also called butterfly in yin. So your feet are together, your knees are as close to the ground as possible. If you're having difficulty, you can take blocks and put them underneath. Very often people do this, or blankets, whatever is going to work for you, okay? A butterfly pose is a beautiful hip opener. It actually relieves stress, so it's a good one. So I hope you're ready to hold it. Finding your inhale and lengthening. And on your exhale, you're slowly going to guide your body down towards the earth, your hands out in front of you. Inhaling and lengthening, and exhaling. The closer your heels are to your root chakra, your body, the deeper your pose can go, the more you stretch. So if you can find that, if not, find what works for you. This is your journey, not mine. I am just your tour guide. After a little bit, if you could go a little bit further, finding your inhale and exhale. Remember, you are deserving. Inhale. Regulate those breaths. On the next inhale, lengthen that spine and try to go a little bit deeper if you can. Exhale as you go lower. Relaxing those shoulders, dropping them away from your ears. On the next inhale, you're going to lengthen your spine, bringing your head up, and slowly walking your body back to a nice seated position. Very good, beautiful. We're going to come to our next pose. So you're going to find yourself in a tabletop position for me, because we're going to move into what we call puppy pose. And in Yin, they actually call it melting heart. It's a beautiful name. So our knees are stacked in line with our hips. Okay, and they are, and our shoulders and our wrists are stacked. And we are slowly going to walk our hands out towards the front of the mat, taking it nice and slow. And as you get closer to the edge of the mat, I want you to lower your head, gently touch the mat. What's important here is you're keeping your knees in line with your hips. You're not leaning that forward, you're keeping that at a nice, beautiful angle. Finding your inhale, your head is low. And if you can, on your inhale, lengthening those arms a little bit further and maybe lowering your chest if you can. Not everybody can. You have to do what works for you. Inhaling and making sure that spine is beautiful and long. And exhale. Opening up your shoulders, your back. Finding your breath. Some people can go deeper. You do what works for you. Remember, I am deserving. On the next inhale, raising your head, slowly sliding your hands in and coming back up to a tabletop. And we are going to slowly sit on our heels, just coming to a nice seated position on our heels. Our next pose is half hero. In Yin, they call it half saddle. So finding a nice center, resting our legs, resting our buttasana, just a fancy way to say your buttocks, onto our legs. Now we're going to take our right leg, we're going to bring it out in front of us and guide our butt to the mat. So our heel and our calf is actually to the left of our thigh and our butt, our buttocks. And we're sitting nice on the mat. It's very important, okay? Our right leg is down in front of us. If we need to open that up a little bit, please do. You want that heel out. And this is where it gets a little bit more challenging for us. So our right leg is out, and we're going to recline. Our hands are behind us, grounding down into the mat, and we're slowly going to guide our elbows down to the mat. And maybe this is where you stop. Maybe you can't go any further, or maybe this is just what's calling to you today. Maybe you're doing it in the morning. Maybe you're doing it at night and you're tired. This is a good opportunity where you could take a blanket, just like Kelsey's doing, under her lower back, or you could even take a pillow and lay on the pillow. On the next inhale, we're going to slowly come down to the ground. If it's in your practice, keeping that knee down, leg stretched out. This is called a half hero. Your hands could be out to the side, or they could be alongside. Finding your breath. Making that spine nice and long. If you have any crunch on that lower back, you definitely want to put a blanket below you. Finding your inhale and your exhale. Resting our body. Just remember, if any emotions come up, don't ignore them. Feel them, recognize them, and move on. At this point, if you're halfway down and want to try to go a little bit further, you can give it a try. Maybe you want to go deeper for the last minute. And holding these poses, you want to keep your eyes closed. Become one with your mind and your body. Beautiful. On your next inhale, bringing your hands closer to your body. Maybe taking your head to your crown, just to open up that throat chakra, leaning onto your elbows, and slowly bringing your hands, grounding them down, and bringing your body up to a nice seated position. Taking that left leg out. Maybe you need to shake it a little bit, wake it up a little bit. It was tight. You were really opening up that hip. You're working on your knees. They're becoming more flexible in this position. And please remember, if your mind starts to wander on your to-do list, try to bring it back to your breath. All right, so now we're going to do the right side, bending that leg. Remember, our buttocks are flat on the ground. Our hip is nice and in line with our calf. I know you can't see mine, but you saw it on the other side. Your heel is out, your left foot is straight, and you're nice and flexed. That left foot is flexed, engaging that muscle, protecting that knee. Hands are down behind you, guiding yourself, bringing your elbows down, not your knees, it's a different part of your body. Elbows to the mat. Slowly, maybe bring your crown chakra down to the ground first, and then slide your head out if need be. I'm a little tighter on this side, a little bit harder.
Oh man.
Finding your breath. You have to do
This
what...
side is very, very different for me.
Now we did the alternate nostril breathing, which is supposed to help balance your energies, but sometimes our feminine side or our masculine side is really taking over. You have to do what works for you and what works for you on your mat today. All right, finding our inhale. We're going to stay in this position for 3 minutes. Again, if you need to put a blanket under you, if you need to modify, please do so. You don't want your knee too high up. You want it nice and low in the ground. You need to open up that leg a little bit more. Find your breath. Become one. Let me close your eyes. You are deserving. And on your next inhale, if you're on your elbows and you want to attempt to go a little bit further down, a little bit deeper into the pose, find your path. Beautiful. If your hands are out to the sides, or maybe they're above your head, whatever was calling to you, bring them to your sides, closer to your right ankle and to your left hip. Come up on your crown chakra, bringing those, grounding down on those elbows, opening that throat chakra, slowly guiding yourself up. It's a little uncomfortable, but take it slow. Bringing that right leg out. Waking up that leg a little bit. Beautiful job. All right, so we're going to bring ourselves back up to a tabletop position. And we are going to go into a pigeon pose. In Yin, they call it a swan. And there's definitely some variations here. Kelsey's going to do some for you. Find your breath for a minute. Now you're going to take your right leg and you're going to take your right knee and bring it toward your right wrist. And your left ankle is towards your left wrist. You're keeping your shin in line. So your ankle is stacked with your right knee. Okay? Your left leg is out straight. And I want you to slowly slide into a beautiful position, lowering your hips. Okay? Your knee is down. Now, if some people are struggling with this position, I also find you can take a block, put it under your right hip or a blanket, whatever's calling to you, because that'll help you keep your ankle and your knee stacked. Okay? And your left leg is flat, your foot is pointed. And your hands are going to come in front of you. And Kelsey is taking the modification, which is what you can take if you would like. And you're slowly going to find your hands guiding out in front of you, resting your chest on your shin and lowering your head towards the mat. This is a very deep pose. You can also, the other option is taking a blanket or a pillow and laying it here. And you can find your pose here. Trust me, you're still going to feel your body working, your fascia stretching. And that's what's key here. You don't have to go as deep as the full pose. Finding your breath, closing your eyes, holding the pose. You also find if your hands are out in front of you and you're struggling, you could take them, lay them on top of each other and take your forehead onto your wrist. And if you start to feel your hips maybe come out of balance, try to reposition them, keeping them in line with the mat. Again, a block under your right hip is a beautiful thing. Again, or follow Kelsey. If you're only up on your elbows and you want to attempt to take a little bit deeper during that last minute we have here, feel free to give that a little extra push. Go for it. If not, stay where you're at. Remember, you are deserving. Recognize the emotions that you're feeling. Remember, yoga is mind, body, and soul as one, not separate. Become one with your breath. On the next inhale, gently lift your head. Start to ground down in your hands, slowly walking your hands back towards your leg, dropping onto your right hip, bringing your left leg around, and let's give it a little shake. Let's wake it up. We just held it for a little while. Good job. All right, now we have to do the other side. It's called equality here. All right, so bring that back to the tabletop. Remember, those wrists are in line with your shoulders, your knees are in line with your hips. You're taking your left leg, bringing it up. Your knee is coming to your right wrist, and your left ankle is coming to your right wrist. I think I got that wrong. Left knee, left wrist, right ankle, right wrist. Okay? Slowly stretching the right leg out behind you, nice and flat. My left side I can't usually go as deep with my left side. Remember, keeping that knee and ankle stacked and in line here. Slowly coming down. Go to your elbows first. See what's working for you. Maybe interlock your hands. Find yourself a nice little resting place here. Find your inhale. Maybe you're following Kelsey and doing her modification. Maybe this is what works for you on this side. And if you can go lower, you can go deeper. You don't want that right hip to come too much off the ground. You want it in line. So if you need to put a block under your left hip, that is helpful. As you feel the stretch, maybe you feel We're about 2 minutes in. If you want to go a little bit deeper, go for it. Finding your breath. Becoming one with your mind. Remember, you are deserving. On the next inhale, bringing our hands, grounding down into your mat, slowly raising our upper body, nice and slow, dropping onto our left hip, bringing our right leg around, giving them a little shake and waking them up. Beautiful. All right, we're going to bring ourselves back to a tabletop position. And our next pose is the frog pose. Before you come here, you may want to pause the video. You may want to put a blanket, because our right and left knee are going to go beyond our mats. And I don't know if you're in a carpet or a hardwood floor, so you may want to put a blanket down or 2 mats, whatever is going to work for you. All right, I see Kelsey. She's folding her mat to soften up the area for her knees, because you will be resting on your knees. Your knees are going to be, the sides of your knees are going to be grounding down into the earth. So coming from your tabletop position, you're slowly walking your knees out to your side. What I like about the hardwood floor is it allows me to slide a little bit more. Keeping those feet flexed again, and you don't want your hips to be too far up. You don't want them to be too low. You want them in line with your knees. So as your knees slowly open, you're going to slowly come down to your elbows. Now, I personally cannot get very low in a frog. So this is what works for me. This is my journey. For some of you, you may be able to go into a full flat pelvis and chest on the ground. I'm slowly going to walk my hands out, dropping my chest, dropping my head, keeping my knees out. My hip is in line. Opening up those hips. Remember your shoulders are relaxed. You continue to find your breath. Maybe you can go a little bit deeper. Melting your chest, melting your legs into the earth. raising your head, bringing your hands towards your chest, elbows down, slowly guiding yourself up. I want you to bring your big toes together and slowly bring yourself up that way. And then bring your knees in. Good job. Good job. So now we're going to take some time and go into Shavasana. And you can take your Shavasana however you prefer on your journey, but I do highly recommend you take it. You can lay yourself down in a corpse pose, which is commonly utilized. If you have an open, clear wall you can use, I also recommend that you can do legs up against the wall, where your hips are right in line with the wall, your legs are up straight, your back is flat. That's a beautiful pose. And warm yourself up, because you are deserving. You want to warm up your body, your muscles, finding your position that works for you. Now, on your inhale, melting your body, relaxing it into the earth. You can have your palms up to receive from the universe, or you can have your palms down to ground with the earth. Allowing your feet to just drop, letting gravity take over. Releasing all tension in your body. Your eyes are closed gently. Your jaw is relaxed. Your tongue is relaxed. Feel free to take your Shavasana for as long as you like. Again, my name is Carmela. Thank you for sharing your journey with me. Namaste.